biggest companies, the most successful people in the world have been through all of these challenges. And the difference between them and the person that this just stops is they just kept going. Let's do this. I'm Jacob Godar, and my channel helps contractors deliver and clients experience a luxurious everyday life through property transformations. Today we're talking about how to pivot and win in business. Pivoting, changing, adapting is what is going to increase the size of your business, the size of your wallet. Everything that you want comes in relation to the problems you can solve. I'm gonna do a quick rundown on some different problems I've seen this week, some different things I've seen in general, to what I would do in these situations. In business, you have to be able to pivot quickly. If you're a small business, you have the advantage of changing rapidly. Where a behemoth, a huge business, it takes so much just to change direction. It's like a large ship versus a little speedboat. One can dart around all over. And in a small business, you're like a small speedboat. You can change direction quickly. You can pivot your business quickly. Like everything that just happened with the crazy pandemic. If you're a smaller business, it made it where it was easier for you to pivot, change quickly to still be successful. So many situations come up all the time that require things like this, and I'm gonna go through these few right now. First is bad employees, or what you deem as bad employees. I just had a comment on YouTube that was basically saying, I've hired a bunch of people, good luck finding people. I've went through hundreds trying to find the right people. There's the view of it, looking at it like that, or there's the view of knowing that yes, it's gonna be a challenge, but it's a challenge I'm excited to overcome, and I'm going to attack that. The different ways that I would immediately attack that problem. I know it's hard to hire. It's hard to hire in Illinois. It's hard to hire in Florida. It's hard to hire in California. People are getting incentivized to stay home right now. It's hard to hire people. And it's always a challenge in general. The less structured and the more like you haven't been working maybe on a hiring process, it's hard for the people who are starting out. It's hard for the people with the hiring process. It's hard for the people who've been doing it for years. It's always a challenge. People are a challenge. It's one of the biggest variables in your business. But immediately, the resolution to that I would look to is any type of platform where I'm gonna continue interviewing, and I'm gonna interview even more. I'm gonna do everything I can to interview people as fast as possible. In this comment, it was that there was a lot of bad employees. Well, I would interview and I would step up some of the things like we've done in our company to require more to get an employee on board. Gotta have a driver's license, obviously. Gotta have a background check. Gotta have a drug test. Gotta pass a physical. Just those things. And then I would roll in the part, and this is just what we already do, of screening out the bad to only get the good, which is obviously going to make it where there's a lot less people to pick from. I would call all of their references. I would ask them, hey, what's this reference going to say about you? And then I would call and verify the references. I would leverage subcontractors. I would leverage other relationships. I would network like crazy and do everything I can do to let people know my business is growing. Then also incentivize them with, as we grow this business, we're going to grow the benefit to you as a business. I would align their personal and professional goals with how they can achieve those in this business. And that's what I do. And actually, that's not what I do, that's what I do. That would be like the bad employees version, and that's something everybody's always saying. And I say it too. I've had the problems with saying it, and I just don't want to fall into the victim category. So when I start hearing myself talking about employees are a pain in the ass and la da 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 da, I try to quickly cut myself back, because I've listened to so many people whine and cry and bitch about it, and I know that those three things don't get you anywhere. The only thing to get you somewhere is coming up with a resolution and moving forward. Forward, constant movement is going to push you through these things. The second thing, this actually came from a Comm member this week. This is tragic anytime this happens, but lost a lead employee in the thick of it, right when we're getting rolling. That's hard. That's hard, and I've been there. I have had over and over and over and over, I've had all my money on somebody that I thought was a badass, and they bailed. I had all my time invested into this person and they bailed. I had someone doing something huge that I thought, handing out door hangers in Florida, and I get here to see that they're all in the trash can. Nothing got hung out. It was all a lie. Been lied to, been cheated. I've been taken advantage of. I've been assumed that I had a ton of money, so I've had people want to go after that, and like all these different things that you get in as an employer, and it's a constant challenge. But it's so painful, and this is nice because right after employees, we're talking about leads leaving, so another employee-related thing. But my immediate reaction to a lead leaving would be, how are we going to fill that position? How are we going to do it? Do I have to go out in the field? Do I have to do some work while we're trying to do aggressive hiring? A lot of the stuff we're talking about with employees, we just need to hire harder. We need to meet more people. We need to do more connection. We need to offer more so we can get more people in the door. And then on top of that, I want to lean back to maybe if you have some projects and you need some time, you still do some of the project, but if you don't have a skilled enough guy to do the hard parts, you start working with other contractors and subbing some of those things out that are more skilled while you're still doing the things you can accomplish in a project. And I would strategically come up with something as quick as I can. It's all about making the decision right now. Here's the steps that must happen to get me through this, to buy me time, to get me back to where I get that lead, or maybe I have multiple people that can't do as much, but they can do the lower level stuff. I could sub out the harder parts of it, some immediate resolution. It's more just to show this happens to everybody. The biggest companies, the most successful people in the world have been through all of these challenges, and the difference between them and the person that this just stops is they just kept going. You have to keep going. You have to keep going. You have to keep your emotions and your attitude in check because you are the leader of whatever it is you are leading, and people look to you. So if you look like you are freaking out or you are falling apart, you're doing a disservice to everyone around you. It is your job to be strong and hold it together and push on, and you're going to get through it. And what's so crazy about every insane thing that's happened is you get through this challenge, you get through this challenge, you get through this challenge, and when you look back, you're like, man, that stuff was easy compared to what I'm dealing with now. And it keeps going that way because the challenges don't get less, they get bigger, they get more. You want to create new problems so you don't get stuck on the same level of problem. You can start dealing with a different, bigger problem. So it's going to be more challenging. It's going to be more stressful. And then after that, you're going to be on the next one. It's just going to go on and on and on. That'd be my immediate thoughts. Looking around, doing what I can do to have my team split the lead roles, looking who I can move up immediately, what I can do in that area, and potentially doing more of what I've been talking about, subcontracting, working, banding together with other people. You might not like the sound of that, but you may be forced into the position of that. I've seen large companies not get their a lot of like H-2B work and workers and things like that, and they have to sub out large chunks of everything because they didn't have an option, but they didn't stop. Next thing I want to talk about, no money. You don't have any money, you're freaked out, you can't take it, and it's happening every year. This is something that you have to pivot somewhere in your business. You're not charging enough, you're not making enough money. Like, it's one thing to coming out of winter and off season and be rolling back up and really trying to expand and feeling like you don't have money because you are putting a lot, investing it in up front, and you're just bleeding it dry to go big. So that's one thing. But if you're in the thick of the season and you're saying you don't have money, you don't have enough money, I don't know how to pay the bills, you got an issue with how much you're charging. You got an issue with efficiency, and you need to immediately hone in on what's going on and find out where it's bleeding. Find out where the bucket is leaking water. You're gonna need to pivot your pricing immediately, your estimating immediately, and you're gonna need to dig into those things. That's why I say it is so crucial, first, to know what you need to charge. Second, to do at least some job costing. Like, I'm transparent. Right now, we're failing because our office is just bombarded by estimates. I think we had 152 calls to the office yesterday, another 80 or something to the call. The answering service, we're understaffed because someone's on vacation, and like, they are just bombarded. So you gotta focus, you gotta prioritize on the most important things. And as long as we do some job costing to know where we're at on a portion of it, I'm happy, because a lot of our stuff is automatically costed in Service Autopilot. But That's how you know. You gotta know what to charge. You gotta cost enough of it so you've at least got an idea of if it's coming in on time or if your estimates are worthless and you're losing on every job. And you need to look into your business and see where the problem lies and change it right now. And if you're worried about raising your prices, you don't think you'll get enough work, does it matter? Don't get enough work or don't make money, both of them are the same thing. If you make no money or you don't do any work, you have nothing. One, you just did a lot of work to have nothing. The other, you just could have chilled out on the couch and had nothing. No money is a constant thing in our industry, and I feel like even where I'm at right now, I hear so many people talk about, you can't charge this amount, you're not going to be able to charge enough, you're not going to be able to do this, you're not going to be able to do that, and I'm just here to prove that wrong. I'm just here to change that, to excel our business, to grow it faster, and I love when people tell me I can't do something. That's like been the burning fire of my life. Like anytime you tell me I can't, it is the fire for why I will, okay? You tell me I can't, I'll show you how I will. And just like some of the lawn care accounts we've landed already, people want value, they want a great service, and we have charged what our value is going to offer, and that's above like the standard pricing here in our area. Last thing to wrap this up, because I could go on all day, I wanted to give some points that come up that you hear people talk about, but realize the challenge in business are endless. It could be millions of things, but the last one's like maybe you have a partnership and you have a loss of control because you're not the leader of this partnership and you don't feel like you're getting to make enough decisions, or you feel like you're always hampered. If that's the situation and you're in a partnership with someone because you needed help to get started, you needed money, you needed something that caused a partnership, and you don't have the lead of this, so you aren't allowed to make all decisions. You're like a 49% shareholder or however that works out. If you're knowing that things need to be changed and the right changes aren't getting made and you're locked into this decision, it's your duty to go to the person that is manning the ship and say, hey, something's got to change. We got to figure this out. And here's why. So here's why it needs to change, what it's going to change to, and what's the resolution that this is going to create. And then if we can't do that, like if the problem is we're not making enough money, or the problem is we can't hire because you don't want to hire any people, but I'm wanting to expand the company and it's like butting heads, like you need to see that you guys have the same vision. If you don't have the same vision, if you're not aligned with the vision, then you're gonna have to split ways. You're gonna have to start up something on your own and go a different way, because you're never gonna be able to change if someone's vision is drastically different than yours for your business and you're working together in your partnership, you're never gonna be able to just change the way they see things. Like they have their vision because it's their vision, and somewhere along the line you guys got into business together and you just weren't aligned. And it just never worked out. That's why a lot of partnerships fail, because people aren't aligned with their values, with their goals, with the things that they are driving for in their business. And then it causes things to crumble because one person wants to hit the gas and one person wants to hit the brake, and it just blows the business up. Figure out what you're wanting to change, present it, show how you're wanting to do it, the resolution that creates, and why you are wanting to do all that anyway. And if you can't make that happen, split ways and move on, because you'll be better off rocking and rolling, or finding another partner that's going to work better with you. That's it. That's some of the points. Like I said, you could do this all day long. You could talk about the challenges in business. My main thing is, do not be a victim. Victims do not win in life. Look around you. Look at the people who are complaining about the presidency, the government, the weather, the employees, their job, all like people that are drawn together and do the complain fest, the victim fest, and look at the level of success they have, and then look at people that you know that are doing a lot and are really successful, and then get around them and listen to them and see what they do. Do they complain? Do they spend time on Facebook breaking down other people? Do they go and poke out and tell other people, you won't be able to achieve this, you won't be able to do this, you won't be able to do those things? And you're going to see a drastic difference between people who are victims and people who are not victims. You're going to see unsuccessful and you're going to see successful. And that holds true. You can't be a victim of life and ever have a success in life, because it just doesn't happen. You are filtering it in and seeing all as bad. And that's the crazy thing. Like, it is just the view. One person sees it as bad, and one person sees all these bad things as an opportunity, and then they leverage them accordingly. One person doesn't get anything and the other gets it all. Don't be a victim. Kick ass in your business. Grow your business. Deal with the problems and the challenges as they come and leverage them to your success, and be begging for new, bigger challenges, because that means you're growing and you're moving forward.